Hi, everyone, and welcome to my video series on love. I love love. Love is the highest vibration in the entire universe. When you're feeling or being love, you can't simultaneously hold any lower vibrations like fear, anger, hate, or sadness. So the longer you can stay in the love flow, the less of the lower vibes you'll have to encounter. So this is my series on love. Today, I'm going to talk about becoming love. And then the next 3 videos are going to all be on the theme of love. But next week, it will be how to love yourself. And then the next week will be how to love more freely. And then the next week will be how to accept love. So hopefully you'll join me on this series because love is a joyous, happy emotion, and it's one I love to talk about. And it is possible to bring more love into our lives and give more love externally by practicing some techniques. And I got them for you. So come join me. So think about, how do you feel when you are feeling love for someone or something, like a partner, a dog, an animal, nature, a friend? What does that love feel like for you? I'm just going to describe some typical things that people feel when they feel love. Sometimes we cry, we feel so joyous that tears start falling, and tears are always truth. So that's a good thing. I often feel an opening and a widening in my heart space, which is, they call that opening of the heart. And it almost feels like your heart is smiling. If you practice this a lot, you begin to feel what that feels like a stretching, it kind of feels like. Maybe you feel goosebumps on your arms or your legs even, or you feel so happy when you're feeling love that you want to burst. It's almost like your feet don't touch the ground. You feel pure and utter joy. You beam, you keep that smile. Have you ever walked around and seen people who are constantly smiling and you wonder, what are they smiling about? Maybe it's love. Maybe they're just holding this love. And you feel almost electric, like there's a current inside of you that's buzzing. And best of all, when you feel love, you stay in this sort of uplifted, good mood. Certainly I'm not trying to say that if you feel love, you won't feel any of the lower emotions. You have to feel all emotions. But the more often you can feel love, the more often you can get out of the lower emotions faster. So what puts you in a love state? Well, obviously, romantic love, for sure. But you also feel love. Have you ever held a newborn baby and smelled their little head? Oh, it feels so wonderful. Or stroking and petting a cat or a dog or anything that you could pet. Standing on top of a mountain and looking out at the view. It feels so expansive, so loving. What about smelling a flower, specifically smelling a rose? They have such a strong fragrance. Hugging, you always feel love. Hugging a beloved partner, hugging a child, a friend. Playing with a young child and allowing yourself to go into their world and feel more open and playful. Listening to the ocean. Feeling proud of yourself when you accomplish a goal. And helping people. These are all ways that the love vibration gets activated. It's not always just the obvious romantic love. when I walk into the woods, I feel a great appreciation and gratitude for nature. And I can feel my heart opening, and I can feel that it is really a loving vibration that I'm sending to nature, and she's sending it back to me. Here's a tip. Here's just a little story I'd like to share about when I felt my heart open, and that connection of love. When I first had my first child, we were together, my family, my extended family, on Thanksgiving. And at the time, my brothers and their wives, they all also had little babies. And we put all the babies up on the sofa, and we were trying to take a picture of all of them for Thanksgiving. And of course, babies, one's crying, one's falling over. They're nobody's doing what they're supposed to do. And all the parents are like, look over here, smile, smile. At that moment, I felt so much love and joy for these new human beings. And I remember looking over at my father, and he had tears in his eyes, and he said, "Isn't this beautiful?" And oh my gosh. So not only was I feeling the love, all the people that were taking the picture were feeling that vibration too. Love is contagious. So when I feel joy and love, that's what I am emitting to the world, and others feel that as well. So how do we become love? All these things are really nice, but it's not natural for some people. Some people have a harder time opening up their hearts. Some people don't come to love so easily. Maybe they had a really difficult childhood, or they haven't had as many close relationships. It's actually possible for every human being to cultivate a love practice. So one of the first ways that you can bring more love into your life is hugely important. It's about staying present. I've talked about presence in most of my videos because it's probably the number one way to feel inner peace, to feel joy, to feel love. Because when you're in the present moment, you're not thinking about what you have to do later. You're not thinking about something somebody said to you that upset you. You are simply in the moment in whatever activity you're in. So if you're cooking, you can feel love for your food and for the meal that you're preparing because you're being present. So find activities that can encourage your presence. Like, what do you like to do where you are completely in the moment? I know for me, and I've talked about this 1,000 times, being in nature, I do feel present. I always feel present because I know that I'll feel restored once I'm in nature. But I'm not going to feel present if while I'm walking in nature, I'm talking to another person, or I'm listening to something in my ears, or I'm talking to somebody on the phone. Being present requires you to just be doing one thing. That's really the key to everything, is being present. If you can cultivate a practice of being in the moment, you will easily bring more love into your life. You will become love. Okay, so the next way that we can become love is to move slowly in your life. It's also part of the presence thing. We rush around too much. We're doing too many things at once. But if we can move slowly and not be rushed, we appreciate and see all that's around us. And it's being mindful is really what it is. So moving slower in your life will help you become more love. Being grateful. having a gratitude practice is another wonderful way to become love. Because, like I said before, for a lot of us, it's not natural to be grateful or to be loving. And for those of us who are that way, I really encourage you to create a gratitude journal for yourself. I don't have mine here right now. A gratitude journal is simply every day. You can do it before you go to bed or first thing in the morning. You write down 4 things that you're grateful for. It could be, I'm grateful for my breath. I'm grateful for the sun that is out today. I'm grateful for the wonderful night's sleep that I've had. I'm grateful for my best friend. I'm grateful for the hawk that I saw outside. It doesn't matter what you say. What you're doing is teaching your mind to learn to be grateful, to stop and smell the flowers kind of thing. Because there's so much to be grateful for, far more to be grateful for than to be angry or pissed off about. You know, watching the news and watching some movies and TV can often make us feel the opposite of grateful, because most of the stuff that's on TV is disturbing or bad news. You know, these things are not going to help you to be grateful. They just enforce the lower vibrations like fear and sadness and anger. So cultivating a gratitude practice helps you become love. Seeing yourself in others, that's a big one. We can only love each other when we find what we are the same in, which is so many things. It doesn't matter our skin color, our economic bracket. It doesn't matter what we do for a living. It doesn't matter how we look. We all want the same things. We all want a loving, beautiful, joyful life. So if I can find something, even in somebody that I have nothing in common with, if I can find one thing that I can see myself in them, we cultivate more love. And there's always something. Another way to create more love for yourself is when you begin to feel thoughts inside of you or feelings inside of you for someone that you care about, get them out, tell them. If you're feeling really grateful in a moment for a friend, maybe she was a really good listener on the day that you needed it, and you feel inside, oh my gosh, thank God I have this friend. Tell her, I'm so grateful for your friendship. If you, let's say you're with a child that you have a good relationship with, and they're being silly and giggly, and you want to hug them. If it's okay with them, ask them, hug them, feel their love, give the love. And the exchange is so beautiful. You know, a hug is literally an energetic exchange, and the current of love is moving back and forth. And if you don't have someone physically near you, if you're by yourself, then maybe Zoom with someone or FaceTime with somebody and express your feelings for them in a beautiful way. The more you do this, the more you teach yourself to honor what you're feeling in your heart and to verbalize it. And when you verbalize it, it gives other people the permission and the safety to say it back. And of course, my favorite, spend time in nature. Whenever you're feeling out of whack, nature is the best way to restore. It doesn't have to be the woods. It doesn't have to be the ocean. It could be your apartment complex, just sitting on the grass and putting your hands on the ground and taking your shoes off and just feeling the earth. After 15 or 20 minutes, you will feel restored. And this restoration will help unblock whatever's hardened around your heart to feel, to accept, and to give love freely. So those are some ways to become more love. It's a process. I don't want you to think that this is like super easy. It's something you have to teach yourself unless you naturally are this person. And if you naturally are love, then please make sure you are giving it to people and to the world and to yourself, because there, like I said, there's no more powerful emotion on the planet. Love literally does heal everything. So stay with me. Hit a thumbs up if you like this video, and come back next week when I'm going to talk about how to love yourself. Thanks. And I love you. Bye.